And when we understand that these are written out in Proverbs chapter 2, chapter 5, chapter 6, chapter 7, and chapter 9, we would do well to go to the classroom of Solomon and listen to what Solomon had as he gave instruction to his son. Thank God for fathers who not only give us life, but they teach us what to do with it. My dad gave me life. My dad was a part of that moment of procreation. My dad died at 49 years of age. But I'm telling you, my dad not only gave me life, he taught me what to do with it. Now, a tender father is a father that would spend time with his children. You've heard me say this before. You spell love T-I-M-E. So a tender father is going to take time with his children. You got a son or daughter that's going to be born. You need to remember this from the get-go. You're a young father. You've been absentee. You need to make up your mind right now. My greatest challenge in life is to be the kind of father that I need to be. I had a high school friend sent me a message yesterday on email, and the message was, anybody can be a father, but it takes a real man to be a dad. And so he said, you can use this tomorrow morning. I don't even know if he's right with God, but he got his advertisement in this morning. James Dobson, we know who James Dobson is, Focus on the Family. He did some statistics a few years back and said the average father spends 37.7 seconds with his son every day. Now that's tragic. I mean, you don't even have to be a woman whose father has walked. You don't even have to be a single parent mom to understand what I'm talking about. So you've got to make up the difference. You've got to be mom and dad to the dad that is really never there. Josh McDowell said it like this: 25% of the teens have never had a meaningful conversation with their father. Now you can just ask yourself, did I ever have a meaningful conversation with my father? I want to just address the dads for a second. Dad, your steps are important because others are following you. Is that good preaching? You can say amen. You teach patience by being gentle over and 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 over. That's how you teach your children patience. You teach honesty by keeping your promises even when it costs you something. How many of you want to teach your children honesty? Then if you're going to do that, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to keep your promises. Nothing makes my family matter. All three of them would gang up on me if I told them we were going to do something and then something came up in the church that I had to do because your lives trump our family lives. And I know that you don't understand that, but that's the way it works in ministry. But it would disappoint them. And so there is nothing that can teach justice other than being fair and equal, and there's nothing that can teach honesty as much as keeping our promise even when it's going to cost us something. You teach love for God. You want to know how you teach love for God? You teach love for God by being faithful and consistent to the house of God. You teach your children to give by giving yourself. You teach them the value of the church. And if we don't practice what we preach, our children are not going to practice it either. And so I have a responsibility as a father. I don't want to be a toxic dad. I know toxic preachers. I have to be around them from time to time. I know preachers that absolutely, if their sons didn't get in at 10 o'clock at night, when they walked through the back door of the house, that loving father would take his fist and haul off and hit him right in the face and give him a sound beating, not a whipping. right here in beautiful Kentucky. Pastors that would preach love and then treat their children that way. I believe probably we need to understand that was a toxic dad. And I know that the children paid dearly because of that toxic dad. If you're a toxic dad, your children are paying for it. How long do you want to remain toxic? In the book of 2 Kings, chapter 17, verse 8 and 14, it said, the children hardened their hearts like the necks of their fathers. They hardened their necks against God.